Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. Hope you are having a fantastic day. Ready for the new year. Really excited to celebrate tomorrow. And Lord willing, He keeps us all alive. Ring in a new year 2024. Whatever it is you're doing, hopefully it will be fun. I'm going to have a very quiet evening and I'm going to have a movie night. I'm going to stand and count down at midnight tomorrow. But what are our faves doing? I have no idea. We haven't heard from them. So, whatever it is they're doing, we just, pray for them that it's a fantastic time, that it's a wonderful time of just with family and friends and doing whatever it is they're doing with their kids. So just wishing them all the best. Looking forward to a great 2024, whatever it is they decide to be doing. We'll be here to celebrate with them and to report on it. And I just love these photos. I know, who was it yesterday? It was just jonesing on Meghan. Megan gold dress. But anyways, again, our faves are doing good. We don't know what they are. It's so funny going through Twitter and seeing little tweets and stuff from whether it's royal reporters and stuff like that. Everybody is sort of like, where are they? Why aren't they talking? Why aren't they on social media? Why are they? Now, I just so funny. I came across this article that says that they are going to be reunited with the king in the new year, and it's just like anything. Like, Harry and Meghan, we need you to get clicks. We need you to sell newspapers. Can you pop your head up, please? And you can see the begging. And that's fine. Let them beg. We love our faves being silent, and whatever they decided to, again, put their heads up and let us see them. I'm sure we will. Lord, again, wishing them all the best for 2024. What else is going on in the world? Yesterday we were doing the call-in show, and I'm not sure. I don't remember. Was it Rohini? I know Rohini was the one that was jonesing on Meghan's gold dress, but it was Taiwo, one of you guys, that was talking about this photo with Prince Harry at Invictus with the whole NATO team there, and how that really freaked the royal family out. There is Prince Harry and Meghan with the chief of the NATO. I'm assuming that's his position. I don't remember what is exactly. Maybe a general, I guess, of NATO. Whatever the top position is there, standing next to Harry. And I saw the photo. I'm like, yep, this is what they're talking about. Prince Harry, with all of NATO, the entire staff coming out to support the Invictus Games, having a great time. And that really that really must have rubbed the royals the wrong way in a whole lot of wrong ways. I love this. I absolutely love this. What else? Project Healthy Minds posted this, and we remember Project Healthy Minds in the summer. They had the incredible seminar here in New York where Harry and Meghan and the Archwell team came and did the whole mental health seminar with families whose children took their life because of online bullying and such. And so Project Healthy Minds put this out there, and it's so funny with Archwell at the top. The very top is Archwell, and that's Harry and Meghan, and also our Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, and also Carson Daly, doing an incredible seminar. Again, it's on YouTube if you have not seen it. It's an incredible discussion about mental health, and it's very, very much needed, especially if you are a parent with teenagers, especially if they're online. So vitally important. So Project Healthy Minds posted it. It says, "We are so proud of all that we accomplished in 2023. Thank you to everyone who joined our mental health movement. Here's to an even bigger and better 2024. And again, there were a lot of different organizations, a lot of people took part in that mental health day over here in New York over the summer. So yeah, definitely. Again, if you have not seen it, jump on. It's on YouTube, so just you can jump on YouTube and watch it. And I think also I had posted at the time in our community page, so maybe just scroll through our community page, you'll get the link of it there as well. But incredible seminar for Archwell. And again, there were 3 panels, one with Harry and Meghan, but then there were 2 of them that were chaired by the co-directors of Archwell. They shared 2 panels with the parents. So, and on Archwell website, you see photos of those. So yeah, incredible. It was an incredible event. And of course, I was there trying to get pictures and could not because they made use of the underground garages. So we got nothing. We only saw the security guards. That's it. And this was wonderful. This happened earlier this year. V Kativu, she teamed up with Prince Harry to host the Diana Awards, and for the first time, the Diana Awards happened in Los Angeles. So they came to the US, and Harry was able to be there and host it with V. And it was, I mean, I don't know if that's means the Diana Awards have moved and now they are permanently in LA, because I know V moved to LA as well. I think she's going to school there. And so it was really wonderful. And that's Tessie Ojo at the top with Harry there. She's the one that the CEO of the Diana Awards. And of course, this is also Prince William was also part of it. He recorded a speech and stuff like that, like in the UK. So they're both part of it. But it's very interesting that the Diana Awards traveled this year and traveled to Los Angeles. So V posted this today. She says, "A dream team, V Cativo and at times Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, together championing and celebrating youth advocacy. 2023 was a little bit surreal." And V had an incredible 2023. Not only did she host this with Prince Harry, she also spoke at the UN. And we all remember V just from the first time I saw her with the Commonwealth Trust. When Harry and Meghan were president and vice president of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. That was the first time I saw her. And she graduated, I guess, from, where did she graduate? From Harvard or some one of the top schools in the UK. I don't remember which one that she graduated from. But she graduated now. I think she is pursuing some degree in California. So she's doing amazing. She is one of those people that is like, she's going to be like an ambassador or a president or something. She's just an amazing young lady. And so she is doing fantastic things. Let's see. And yeah, so we'll see if the Diana Awards next year is also going to be in California. Don't know if Tessie moved to California as well. Who knows? Since Harry moved, everybody's like, well, maybe I just better go follow Harry. But it's very funny. Absolutely very funny. But yeah. And we've been talking about Spare for the last, well, really the entire year. And our last episode, we were also celebrating Spare. Well, more accolades for Spare, and as I said the last time, everyone is putting out their end of year lists. And of course, when it comes to books, Spare is number one in just about everything. The Times revealed Sunday Times top 50 bestseller in 2023. Harry, Richard Osman, Colleen Hoover, top our annual bestseller list. As you can see the bottom there, bestsellers Prince Harry and Britney Spears. The WMBG Regional Library, they're like, and the award for top nonfiction digital for the WRL in 2023 goes to Spare by Prince Harry. Spare was a top listen for users who love ebooks and audio. Of course, it's Spare. The Observer, The most read list of 2023 British royal family tell-all by a prince who decamped for California topped the list of the most borrowed books in 2023 at the Lambton County Library. Of course, Spare. And Rachel Cole Community Library. I appreciate library Twitter so much. I've never been into the library as much as I've been into library Twitter. They have gone all out. And so Rachel Cole Community Library, and they had to make it all special and fancy over there. It's like, of course, number one, Spare. I absolutely love it. Spare tops the list. I mean, Spare is a phenomenon. I absolutely love it. And even more of Spare, you guys remember this earlier this year, the writer Kari Fortune, she is a romance novel writer, and if you have not read Meet Me at the Lake, I read it, and it's very interesting. It's kind of like, and maybe it was the girl that read it, it just felt like a teen romance, in spite of the fact that the two people were like in their 30s. It all read like a teen romance, and it was just like, oh well, okay. Interesting. But she her book Meet Me at the Lake is a bestseller, and Toronto Star wrote this article about her. She was saying, she was basically on vacation when one of her friends sent her a link, I guess, to an article, and they found out that stuff that she had been working on behind the scenes got leaked, because somebody at their publishers leaked it to, I guess it's the New York Post or one of those, and it's very very just irritating when those things happen. But so these are a couple of clips from the article. It says the link her friend sent her, because she was on vacation, and the friend sent her, it's like, something happened, you might want to get up from your vacation a bit. And she said the link her friend sent and her location, however, were connected. That's because, unbeknownst to Fortune, news had leaked that her second novel, Meet Me at the Lake, inspired in part by the picture postcard vista she was gazing over, was going to be adapted by Netflix. Exciting news, especially for someone who only published her debut the year before. But that wasn't exactly the reason outlets from Variety to Us Weekly and the Daily Mail had seized on the story. The frenzy was down to the production company behind the rumored multi-million-dollar purchase of the film rights. Archwell, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's vehicle for bringing their post-royal creative endeavors to the screen, which is why everybody was going crazy about it. So another part of the article, she says, anything Harry and Meghan do inevitably attracts attention, positive and negative, and anyone who even vaguely in their orbit can get swept into the circus of it all. Fortune, as a former journalist and editor herself, was certainly aware that the pair were under the microscope like no other human being could possibly comprehend. Her decision was ultimately motivated by the fact that she felt that they were the best partners to bring her story to screen. I do feel like Archwell and Netflix are going to take good care of it, Fortune said. I felt like it was right. There was and she goes on to talk about, there's a lot of noise around the Sussexes, but she just basically ignores it all. Again, she's a reporter, or at least a former reporter, so she's used to that kind of tabloid nonsense. But it was very surprising. I shouldn't say surprising, because we knew, that they would be developing stuff. But I me personally, I didn't think it would be, I didn't think it would be a romance, even though Meghan had talked about romance and how much she loves love and she loves romantic comedies and all of that stuff. I still was sort of taken aback, and I think I was taken aback because it got leaked. And again, I was very, 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 very unhappy when that happened. And it's the same publisher actually from Spare, which is like, y'all are like leak like a sieve. but but she is very happy. She said she's spoken to them, and she is very she's really sure that they would take care of her baby. And again, when you're creative, you know how that feels when you you create a body of work, you kind of feel like that's your child. And to pass that off to somebody is kind of like giving your 2-year-old to someone and trusting that they will take care of your child. And so it's very, very, very scary. And so, but she is confident that Archwell and also Netflix will take care of her baby. And I'm sure they will. And so I am looking forward to it. I know Meghan at the Variety Awards said, she's very excited to share some of what they're working on, and Harry's enjoying it as well. So I'm assuming this is part of what they're doing. And, of course, a lot of it was put on hold because for how many months there was a strike going on. So you couldn't really move forward with any projects. But now that the strike is over, the things are moving forward. So very excited to see where they are. I'm assuming they're in development now, and or maybe they were working on it behind the scenes, and they are probably further along now that the strike is over. So very exciting. And so she is extremely happy. I mean, gosh, her second novel sold, and it sold over 1 million copies, was a New York Times bestseller. Netflix picked it up, and now Archwell, Archwell is producing it. It's like, wow, that's amazing for a, it's only her second novel. She posted this on her Instagram, and bestsellers in Canada, and on the bestseller list is for nonfiction, Spare, and for fiction, Meet Me at the Lake. So both of their works are now number 1 in 2023, and in paperback, her book is number 7. So, and that's her there. And she said this on Instagram. She says, closing out 2023 with incredible news that Meet Me at the Lake is overall number 1 best-selling Canadian fiction book and number 7 overall best-selling paperback novel of 2023. I am so astounded by this and grateful, everyone who picked up my second book. Writing Meet Me at the Lake was an enormous challenge, and the reception it has received is a real, to my self-doubt. I cannot wait to bring you another love story in May 2024 and introduce you to Lucy, Felix, and the rest of the gang on Prince Edward Island. This summer will be different. Less than 5 months to go, so she's writing her new novel. And again, Meet Me at the Lake it's interesting, and again, for me, reading it was like a teenage romance thing, so it's very interesting. I'd be interested to hear if you guys have read it. I know I've asked some people and they had not read it, so hopefully you'll read it and then we can chat about it. So kudos to her, and kudos to Harry and Spare. Awesome. What else is happening? More great news for Prince Harry and Spare. We know when Spare came out in January, Prince Harry did a bunch of interviews, and one of the interviews he did was with Anderson Cooper for 60 Minutes. And Variety put this out today and says the 100 most watched telecasts, the NFL, Oscars, Gordon Ramsay, NSCIS, and on and on and on. And so on this list of the top 100 shows for the year, the 60 Minutes came in at number 40. And before this, I'm telling you, in terms of shows, everything was sports. And the only other 2 things that came in there that was not sports, that was not, especially the NFL, the majority, like 90% is the NFL. You have the top viewing numbers. And then a couple of them were the NBA, and the others were the Oscar and the Grammys. And that took up the entire top 39. I mean, just about everything was the NFL. I mean, they draw a really big audience. And the first thing right after all that sports is number 40. And that was Prince Harry's interview with Anderson Cooper. Him and Hans Zimmer was also on that show. And that show, I mean, the numbers are great. 12 million people watch that. 12,264,000 people watch that interview with Prince Harry. And it's so funny because you think, and that is just one channel, that's just CBS. And you think in terms of the King's speech, where it was numerous, numerous channels. Last year, it was only 10 million people. This year it dropped to like 7 million people. And again, this is numerous channels broadcasting this thing for King Charles. And here is Harry, one channel, over 12 million people. So kudos to Harry. Again, the top 39 NFL, the majority of it's like the NFL, the NFL, the NFL. It is like amazing. But the first show that is apart from the sports and apart from the Grammys and Oscars, 60 Minutes with Prince Harry. So there you go. And I read into this article today, talking about Prince Harry, the other brother on Shutter Island. He is doing his homeless thing, and they are, it's the end of year, so they need to prop up William. We know that William and Kate, actually at least it's Kate's birthday coming up next month, so they're going to be doing a whole lot of puff pieces. So I guess William is like, well, I'm not going to let her get all the press. I'm going to get in there with my press myself. So William has the Telegraph writing about his homeless initiative that we talked about at length when he came out. He donated, 3 million, he claims, and that supposedly will end homelessness in the UK, which is a little ridiculous. But, they said 6 months on, and he is still, he's still doing it, and he's still working hard and working on his initiative and all of that stuff. And apparently they're making a change. So the Telegraph says, Prince William's drive to end homelessness gives charity confidence to stand up to politicians. A little bit about the article. It says the Prince of Wales' drive to end homelessness has given charities the confidence to challenge politicians on the issue. Experts working on the Homeward Project have said. 6 months into the ambitious 5-year program to eradicate homelessness, the Prince's support has enabled charities to change their own rhetoric and to challenge MPs in a way that they've never done before. Matt Brownie, CEO of Crisis, told the Telegraph that the Prince's involvement had already achieved public and political engagement on a scale substantively different to any thing done before. So whatever it is, whether it's him launching the initiative and keep talking about it, according to this person, Matt Downey, that it's making a huge change already, that it's given the different homeless charities a more confident talking point, that he said that they're able to more speak confidently and challenge MPs to come up with something to eradicate homelessness and to get people into homes. And so, look, my thing with this is, how I feel about William and his mess. I am actually rooting for this to work. Because again, William is getting paid to do this job. He has the resources, he has the funds, he has all of this stuff. He has the property, in terms of land and homes and all of this stuff. He has all of the resource available to him to make this project work. And as much as I cannot, William is what he is, and I am not here for Prince William, I am actually rooting for this project to work. Because in spite of who it is that's doing it, I don't care who it is doing it, especially now, we're in winter and there are people living on the streets and they're sleeping on the streets. There are families on the streets. There are children on the streets. And if this project works, it will help them. And that's my thing with this. And I know it's a 5-year project and whatever. And I don't know what they have for the now, as opposed to, oh, this is something that's going to be stretched out over 5 years and whatever. I don't know how it helps the people now, but I hope it's something that's helping people now. Again, we are in winter, and so again, if this stuff works, if he put in the work to make it work, then it'll benefit people. I feel the same way with Kate, and I feel, with her baby early years stuff. Right now, they're both doing a lot of busy work to make them look busy. But if they put in the work and if they do what needs to be done and advocate for these charities, people can get help. People can benefit from it. Homeless people on the streets can be put into homes. They can get into homes, because again, William has all the resources. All he's got to do is do the work. That's what he's got to do, is to sit down, buckle down, get his hands dirty and do the work. And I think that's the difference between him and Harry. Harry gets down in the dirt and do the work. William hasn't. William is always sent to run away and let other people do the work, and he takes the credit. And that's the thing. He will go out and, make sure he gets some publicity for stuff, and then delegate it to everybody else, and he comes in and takes the credit at the end. And this look, he is not the ideal face for this. He's not the person who should be fronting this. Yes, support it from the background and let others run with it. But he's put his face out there. Now he's got to back it up. Now he's got to have to go in and do the work. And so again, I am not wishing, just because it's William, then wishing that it fails. Because no, if it fails, then the people who are going to suffer because of it are the ones that are on the street right now. And if it succeeds, then people are going to get help. And for me, that is the most important thing, that people get the help they need, that their homes are being, whether it's built or restored or whatever they're doing, to get families off the streets and into shelter. And so for me, I don't care who's doing it, whether it's him or Kate or Harry or Meghan or whomever, as long as people are off the streets. So as much as I am not here for Prince William, I'm hoping this works, because again, it will benefit people who desperately, desperately, desperately need help. And so again, so it's probably my only time I'm going to be supporting something of William, but I want this to work so that people get, this and whatever other programs that they have. And I think I'm very sensitive to this, because if you live in New York, we have a major homeless issue here in New York. It is horrendous, and it's getting worse by the day. And then we are getting a lot of people who are moving into the city, a lot of people immigrating to the US and being bused here from especially to New York, from Texas. The governor there is putting them on buses and busing them to New York. And I guess the mayor, they are desperately trying to find place for them. A lot of people are sleeping on the streets. The homeless situation in New York is horrendous. So for me, it is a very sensitive issue. So if there is a way and someone has the resources and all of that stuff to be able to end homelessness and to be able to at least maybe not end it, but, because honestly, it's, if they could end it, great. But put a huge dent in it, so that especially when there are children involved, that they make sure that these kids and these families are in homes. So that's, for me, it's a very sensitive issue, especially seeing, you cannot walk by a street in New York without seeing someone lying on the street, sleeping, in front of a store, in front of a church or whatever. The homeless situation in New York is crazy. So that's why for me, I'm like, look, whomever it is that can help, please do what you need to do to make sure people will get help. So I hope this works. I hope this works. So, and I hope William, that this is not just, again, it's just to get himself attention, but that he really buckles down and do the work so that these people can get help. So anyways, moving on. Great news, and I'm hoping that more nations will join South Africa in this. But today we got this press release from basically the International Court of Justice at The Hague, and they said, press release, South Africa institute proceedings against Israel and asked that the ICJ, the International Court of Justice, to indicate provisional measures. Basically, they're bringing charges against Israel for genocide. And so they are asking the court to investigate Israel for the crime of genocide. And it says a little bit, the Republic of South Africa institute proceedings against the State of Israel and request the Court of Justice provisional measures. At The Hague, 29th of December 2023, South Africa today filed an application instituting proceedings against Israel before the International Court of Justice, the ICJ, the principal judicial organ of the United Nations, concerning alleged violations by Israel of its obligation under the Convention on the provision and punishment of the crime of genocide, the Genocide Convention, in relations to Palestine and the Gaza Strip. And according to the application, acts and omissions by Israel are genocidal in character, as they are committed with the requisite specific intent to destroy Palestinians in Gaza as part of a broader Palestinian national, racial, and ethnic group, and that the conduct of Israel through its state organs, state agents, and other persons and entities acting on its instruction or under its direction, control, or influence in relation to Palestinians in Gaza is in violation of the obligations under the Genocide Convention. The applicant further states that Israel, since 7th of October 2023 in particular, has failed to prevent genocide and has failed to prosecute the direct and public incitement of genocide, and that Israel is engaging in and risk further engaging in genocidal acts against the Palestinian people in Gaza. South Africa seeks to found the court's jurisdiction on Article 36, Paragraph 1 of the Statutes of the Court and Article 9 of the Genocide Convention, to which both South Africa and Israel are parties. And it goes on about, I think it's like about 80-something pages of basically charges from South Africa. And it is great. So I'm hoping that other nations join South Africa in this, and that other nations file charges against Israel for what they're doing. I mean, it's just continued unabated. The United States, we're just finding out again that the U.S. as the U.S. government, Biden administration, has just bypassed Congress again, and approved millions of dollars of weapons to go to Israel once again. And so it's ridiculous. So I'm hoping more nations join South Africa in filing these criminal complaints against what Israel is doing. So thank you so much to President Cyril Ramaphosa, and also to the South African Foreign Minister or Ministress, Nalita Pandor. That's her there. She actually gave a really powerful speech about what Israel is doing, and South Africa supported. South Africa has really taken the lead. If anybody knows about apartheid, it would be South Africa. And so they have really been calling out the apartheid the racism, the genocide that Israel is partaking in, and really bringing on the Palestinian people. So Dr. Omar Solomon puts it perfectly. He said, South Africa, the nation of Nelson Mandela, one of our greatest allies, have invoked the Genocide Convention and brought forth proceedings against Israel at the International Court of Justice. No one knows apartheid like those who fought it before. May Palestine too soon be free. And so I, fingers crossed that, that Palestine will be free. And it's sad that so many people are being murdered on a daily basis. Hopefully the proceedings take place quickly, so it's not these long drawn out things. What else is going on? The reporting, we have talked about the reporting so many times about how Western reporters or Western news outlets, how they report on what's going on in Palestine and how they just completely minimize in so many ways. They don't even mention that. They would say like, oh, an explosion in Gaza or something in Gaza, without even mentioning Israel's name. The majority of them does not write Israel as the culprit that has been doing these things to the people of Gaza. And it's so wild because Asal Rad posted this, and she posted them side by side from the New York Times. This really just justified why I canceled my subscription to the New York Times. But side by side, how the New York Times report on the war in Ukraine and how they report on the genocide that's going on in Palestine right now. This just happened yesterday. I think it was yesterday that Russia just launched another attack on the Ukraine. And this is how the New York Times wrote that Russia pounds Ukrainian cities in one of the largest air attacks of the war. The missile and drone attack killed at least 30 people and damaged critical industrial and military infrastructure, part of the wintertime campaign that Ukraine has been dreading. See how they very clearly, they put the attacker's name. Russia, the culprit. They pound Ukraine. We know that they pound them with weapons, and it was an attack, and the attack killed people. This is how the New York Times and most of the Western media would report on what's happening in Ukraine. But look at how they report about what Israel is doing. Explosion, Gazans say, was airstrike, leaves many casualties in dense neighborhood. Seriously? If you look at how they reported about Russia's strike. Explosions that Gazans say. Not that it's a fact. No. It's the people of Gaza say that it was an airstrike. And then it leaves many casualties. Notice how they wrote that the missile in Ukraine, it killed 30 people. In how they report in about what's going on in Gaza, there are many casualties. It goes on to say dozens taken to nearby Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital, where a photographer for the New York Times saw the injured crowding the hallways and the lifeless were being prepared for burial. Not that they were killed, not that they were murdered and massacred by Israel. Oh, no. They didn't even put Israel's name on there. Not that it was, yes, it was absolutely a fact, and not the fact that they have been killing hundreds and hundreds of people per day. They clearly show that in Ukraine that they killed 30 people. But when they're reporting on what's going on in Gaza, there were casualties and they're, preparing lifeless people. Not that they were murdered by Israel. They're just lifeless. They're just casualties. And there was an explosion. Well, Gazans say it was an explosion, but it could be an explosion. It couldn't be an explosion. Who knows who created that explosion? Unbelievable. And this is why I do not trust Western media. This is why I don't read their stuff. This is why I completely have no respect for so-called journalism, Western journalism, mainstream press. I have zero respect. Because if you don't know what's going on, and if you're not on social media like I am, I would read this. I have no idea of the gravity of what's going on underground in Gaza right now, where people are literally starving to death, where people are being, I mean, I I never ever thought in my life where I would see children. I've seen so many dead babies that I it's burnt in my brain. I don't know how I will recover from those sides, and I can only imagine. So if I am, and I'm not even there, I can only imagine the reporters and the people who have been documenting this and putting it there for the world to see. I cannot imagine the trauma. Little 9-year-old. I remember I shared with this, and I'll have her feature her in the next episode. Our little 9-year-old reporter today. She was doing her little reports talking about seeing martyrs. A 9-year-old who should be in school, but yet she's out there reporting about seeing her dead people. And it's sick what is going on in Palestine and what Israel is doing. And yet this is the kind of thing where you expect journalism, where you expect news outlets that are supposedly credible to be reporting the facts, and this is what they do with it. It is, and especially the fact that now 107 journalists, Palestinian journalists, have now been killed by Israel. You would think that they would do, that they would honor them with correct reporting, with fair reporting, with accurate, specific account of what is going on the ground. And yet this is what they do with it. And again, that's why I cannot respect Western journalists at all in any sense of the word. So anyways, moving on, and this is it broke my heart. Says Times of Gaza says a boy finds safety and comfort in the face of his brother while recovering in the hospital. You can only imagine. This is from a video, and the little boy keeps touching his brother's face and rubbing his brother's face, and I don't know why he was doing it, but as he was doing it, I just had the thought of, like, he's probably just trying to make sure and solidify in his mind that his brother is actually real and alive. And if he could touch his face, then yes, he's alive. And he found safety in the fact that his brother is alive. And it's just such a touching video of the little boy. He just keeps touching his brother's face. It's like, you're here. While he is recovering in the hospital from, one of those bombs that Israel dropped on them. Moving on. I just, it's hard. It's hard to see children suffer. Anybody suffer, really. But when it's children, it just, yeah. Anyways, moving on. This was very exciting. To see a Trini up there doing her thing. The St. Vincent Times and others reported on her, Safia Hussein, first Trinidadian to conquer Antarctica Mount Vinson. And I was just like, a Trini doing it? I was like, that is so exciting. But she did. It's like the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Arts wished to congratulate Miss Safia Hussein on redefining the concept of flying the flag high. Miss Safia Hussein became the first Trinidad and Tobagonian to summit Mount Vinson, the highest mountain on the snow-covered continent of Antarctica, on Christmas Day. That's what she did a couple of days ago. And so Safia posted on her Facebook. She says, on the 25th of December 2023, I became the first citizen of Trinidad and Tobago to summit the highest mountain on the snow-covered desolate continent of Antarctica. I stood on top of Mount Vinson at 1814, proudly flying the red, white, and black and the name of my hometown. because it doesn't matter where on the planet I am, I will always be a beach girl. And I am still trying to find out exactly. I think that's a town in Trinidad. I had never heard of it before. I was like, oh, I think I never heard of that before. I was like, oh, I guess I missed that. And so, anyway, so our Trinidad and Tobago woman is up there climbing mountains, and it's like, wow. So I'm assuming she went with a team. I don't know that she went by herself, I don't think, but I'm assuming she went there by her team. But yeah, that's intense. It's not only that it's the highest, but it's snow covered. But it's great to see one going out there and doing her thing. So very, very, very inspiring for Miss Safia Hussein. So kudos, Safia. What else is happening? Misan. Oh, Misan. I love, again, we've talked so much about Misan's work, his photography. And of course, this was at Invictus Games. And today, this is part one of him putting out photos, his photos of the year. And of course, that's Harry presenting medal there to the Polish team. And I don't know this gentleman, what team he was or what his name is, because Miss Han didn't put it there. But these are from Invictus, obviously. And so, oh, goodness, so amazing, this work. I mean, there's so much. The just his photography just speaks. I don't know, it just speaks so much. And his photography just, I mean, oh, I mean, even though they're so simple, the emotions, he's able to capture the emotions of what's going on around, and it's so powerful. I mean, look at the gentleman on the right. It's just like, oh my goodness, it says so much. And yeah, so, but thank you, Miss An, for your photography. So anyways, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will be on tomorrow for New Year's Eve, and I look forward to chatting with everyone. I think I'll do another call in tomorrow, and we could chat about, what our wishes and dreams are for 2024. Lord willing, He keeps us alive and well, and what what we're looking forward for ourselves, for our faves, any of those things. We'll do a little bit of a call in again tomorrow, and yeah. But thank you so much to our awesome moderators, Lydia Church, Nelly, Karen M, Cookies and Cream, Black Queen. Awesome as usual. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And to all of our wonderful 2 Cents crew who support the channel on a monthly basis, and all of you who support in the chat, also support via PayPal and Cash App. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you've done to support the channel. I literally couldn't do this without you, because you're the ones that helped me pay for all of this stuff so I can do it. So I appreciate it so very much. Have a fantastic evening, guys, and I will chat with you all tomorrow. Again, don't leave me hanging. Call in and we can chat tomorrow. I love you all, and I will chat later.